guys, welcome to Mummy's Corner. I'm super excited to be introducing my co-host after a long time. Please welcome Nisa to the show.
Thank you so much, Nancy. It's so amazing to be back on Mummy's Corner. We give you the very best of content that affects mothers on a day-to-day life.
Yes, and content that you will not hear outside there. At least with us, we're very real. We're here to give you those authentic conversations that will help you navigate your motherhood. So today we'll be talking about how to navigate work and motherhood, Nisa.
Yes, this is such a juicy conversation. I was actually thinking about it. I'm like, we never really have time to talk about how we manage our stress levels, our anxiety as mothers, at the same time as also maintaining our sanity at work. Because in both situations, you have to give it 100%. So today, guys, we'll be diving into this interesting conversation. Nancy, let's get into it.
Yes, let's get into it. So I think I'd like to ask you, Nisa, how did you manage? How did you, navigate motherhood and work in the beginning? Because there was a period when you were on maternity leave, but then you were required to report for work. How did that go for you?
I think it was really a matter of, my biggest challenge was just trusting that I was going to leave my baby with somebody who's going to take care of them. I feel like that's where that anxiety comes from. And I remember watching a video that was talking about how we need to pray to God to give us the grace to trust Him, that He'll entrust somebody to take care of that child. Because in whatever circumstances, when you come back for work, the first thing that's on your mind is the baby. Has he eaten? Is he crying? Has he bathed? Because nobody can take care of a baby better than the mother. So I think for me that was my biggest anxiety, that I had when I came back for work. Was like, is he fine? Is he crying? Is the person taking care of him, doing a good job? And it was a challenge because at the same time I had to give work 100%. It's 100 and 100, and I feel like that's where the most challenge is, really.
Definitely.
For me that was the biggest challenge. How about for you? How was it navigating during that period?
I think for me it was equally the same, like trust, and I was emotional at that point because I was thinking, I really didn't trust my maid at that point because I was thinking maybe she's not doing things right. Maybe my son will fall off the chair and she would not be aware, she would not tell me.
And you think of the worst case scenarios. Because at the end of the day, we're a mother, so you always want to be 100%.
So you get to feel some kind of ways. You start blaming yourself for being like maybe a terrible mother for leaving this little child. At some point, you start feeling guilty for leaving a 3-month-old baby because you're thinking they're really tiny and you won't be able to. The maid won't be able to do what you want to do, what you want them to do. So it's crazy, guys. Trust issues, emotions, and all that. It's crazy as a first-time mom.
Yeah, I hear you, and I feel like when it comes to that, these are conversations that people don't have. I don't think anybody ever comes to you and asks you, "Oh, how are you? Now that you're back, oh, the little baby, how are you feeling?" I feel like those conversations are never really had.
They're not really there because everybody is assuming that you're okay, you're doing fine because they're able to see you at work. They think everything is moving smoothly, but then inside you have all these uncertainties, all these anxieties, all these trust issues and whatnot, which tends to equally make you not to really perform 100%, to be truthful at work especially.
So, but apart from obviously work and the baby, how did having the baby affect your relationship with your spouse? Did you feel like it was like for the best? Because you're only one person, so you have to give work 100%. You have to give motherhood 100%. You have to give being a wife 100%, and you have to give yourself 100%. How did anything shift? How was that? How did that affect you?
But in everything, I feel like women tend to neglect themselves. Because at the end of the day, you're focusing on your spouse, you're focusing on your son or your daughter, you're focusing on work. At the end of the day, it's very easy for you to lose yourself in that environment. And well, with me, it was easier because I had a very supportive partner who was always there to assist when I'm really tired. I remember there was one time when I was so tired, Nisa, that I blacked out. That's how tired I was. Because the baby was crying all the time, especially at night. So I was so tired to the point where I collapsed and I didn't know what was happening. My husband was there to assist me through the whole process and everything. So it gets really bad, and if you're not careful, there's always that strain that comes to your relationship. But I think it really helps when both of you tend to just work together. Yes, and it helps in everything else. Yeah.
And also, did, like, for example, your relationship with your husband, spending time with him, did you feel like that sort of changed a bit?
Definitely, because at that time you have this new person, in addition to the family, and you're trying to understand how you can go about navigate, how to take care of them and everything. It's a new thing, it's a new phase at the end of the day, and you tend to, slightly,
just
your attention shifts
yeah,
slightly to this, but then you need to be careful about that. So how did you take that?
I think it was really a matter of also him creating time for us, because you know, when you're a mom, your first instinct is just being with the baby. And we spend so much time at work that when you get back home, that's the first thing that you want to do.
It's just the baby.
And I feel like it also becomes a partner's responsibility to just create time to say, hey, I'm here, let's spend some time together, like the baby later on. Because the first thing that you want to do is to sleep.
Definitely. You're so exhausted.
And then the other person doesn't really, you understand? So I think it is a lot.
It's a lot to deal with, but I mean, we are super mummies. This is why we're here, and we believe each and every one of you is able to navigate that.
So, guys, please let us know how you managed to balance work and motherhood when you first had your baby. So now, moving on, Nancy. Apart from your husband, did you feel like having a baby affected your relationship, even with your friends around outside? That's if you had a social life.
Yeah, I had a social life. I'm a kind of person who's an introvert, but of course God has blessed me with so many friends. And I think what really helped was them checking on me. I wouldn't say I was the one who was checking on them, but I felt like they were the ones that were checking on me. So it was very easy to maintain that friendship. Yeah, so I don't know about you, Nisa.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to like going out, you'd agree with me. When you are single, even before the baby, when you're going out, you just carry your handbag and go. But now when you're a baby, you have 5 bags, you are exhausted and you're stressed, and you have all this entourage behind you. I think it's different. I think when it comes to going out, that has really affected me a lot. I hardly go out because I'm just like, just the exhaustion of carrying a baby bag and a handbag, and then you have to carry food for the baby. That is a lot.
Yeah, because I know you're outgoing more than me. So for me, it's like nothing changes. But with you, like,
and you know, you'd rather stay home and you just start that check on people through the phone. So I think that when it comes to going out, that has sort of reduced a bit, especially like going to the mall. Because I do go, but not as often as I would love to, because I just have to carry this handbag, this extra handbag that I have. So I think that you never really go back to where you were with your friends or your family. The time that you had, I think, is a bit shifted during that period when you have that baby. So I think that's what really changed for me, and also having friends that understand that you will not always be available for them, because you are trying to navigate motherhood as well. I think for me, even now that I'm a mom, I understand to say if somebody's a mother and you don't have time for me, I understand. I hear you, because
you're experiencing it as well.
Yes, and because you also have to look out for yourself. You have to be at your best.
Definitely.
Your best.
Yes. And you guys, if you have such challenges navigating motherhood as well as social life, please leave your comments in the comment section so we can address them in our next video. So Nisa, tell me, what tips can you give people out here as regards to keeping your sanity? Come on, sanity is very important.
Before we get to that, I have a question. Do you feel like we have people around us who assist in managing depression and stress in our Zambian society? Do you feel like we have those people that you can just go to and talk to and say, this is what I'm going through? Or do you feel like there's judgment to say, but you decided to have a baby, so you deal with it?
I think a little bit of both. Mostly people expect you to navigate the motherhood phase very well on your own most of the time, because there's that process where they guide you through the process and everything, and afterwards I'm like, okay, now let's see how you're going to do these things. And at the end of the day as well, if you are a very closed out person, it's very hard for you to actually reach out for help from other people as well. But then I also feel that in society, some people tend to judge motherhood more than others, which makes it very difficult for mothers to actually open up and tell you what
and
is happening.
But you have a baby and it's a blessing.
You know,
why they make you feel guilty for not being your very best.
Yes, definitely, because they think, but I did it, so why can't you?
Yes,
that is mentality.
They say that, but everybody else is doing it, so what is
your problem? Why can't you also do it?
Yeah.
Like, it's different because this is something new, but I think we also in society needs to be more receptive and give a listening ear to new mothers that are coming in. Prepare them so that they get to understand that their lives will never ever be the same, and they definitely need support.
And it's funny because Nancy and I were having a conversation with our colleague last time about the after the post-birth trauma that the body goes through. And it was surprising that she didn't know about this because nobody ever talks about this.
Nobody ever talks about it, no. Not at all. Because she was like, what? That's what happens?
Yeah.
Well, how come I never get to hear those things? It's because nobody's open enough to talk about certain
People never have
things.
those conversations.
No, because they're scared to be judged or being judged. They don't want to be judged at the end of the day. And you need to understand that you're carrying a whole human being at the end of the day.
And they're raising whole human beings.
You're raising this human being. So you would definitely have a lot of changes, and you need to embrace them rather than criticizing yourself about it.
Okay, guys, so our first tip of the day to mothers who are balancing work and motherhood is set realistic goals for yourself.
Very important.
You need to be practical about the goals that you set, and you need to be sure that they are attainable. I feel like that also reduces on stress levels.
Yes, and definitely, because at the end of the day, if you're unrealistic, you end up judging yourself so harshly. So be kind to yourself. I think that's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
The world will adjust.
Yes, you make mistakes as a mother, but please pat yourself on the back and say, you're doing a great job. So another thing is I feel there's another aspect that has helped me personally, to maintain my sanity is say a little prayer. Very
say
a little prayer, especially if you are leaving your child for the first time with your nannies and everything. Just say a little prayer whenever that fear comes in to say, what if my son has fallen, what if this has happened? Just say a little prayer. It really works.
Does. I feel like it's really important to actually ask God to give you the grace to trust Him that He will do the right thing with your child. I feel like that's where the biggest trust comes to. Just saying, you know what, God, I trust you. This baby is going to be fine.
Definitely, it really helps. Once you just set that, have faith, say a little prayer, say, Lord, even as I'm leaving, I leave this child in your hands. Please protect this child.
It's an everyday thing.
It's an everyday thing. So say a little prayer before you step out. Say a little prayer because you never know. You never know. But at least if you trust God that He will keep your son or your daughter for you, I think it becomes very easy at the end of the day.
Okay, so tip number 2 is practice self-care. So mothers, learn, as Nancy said, be kind to yourself. Practice self-care. If it means you're taking a back seat and just taking some 30 minutes for yourself, please do that.
And please do other things that you love. Develop new hobbies. Focus on certain things that make you happy as a mom. I think we forget this as mothers because we're always thinking about other people.
I think for me, what has helped me is I went back to baking. I love baking, and that was something that I never did. Now I'm back because it's something that I love to do, and it eases the stress and the tension within myself.
Definitely. For me, I love singing, so I'm singing all the time, and I'm stressed out. Just know that Nancy will be there to make noise. I will sing my lungs out just to keep myself calm. Take yourself for pedicure,
self-care,
beauty time. Do such a thing. Hang out. Take 30 minutes, 1 hour, hang out with your friends just to, just keep yourself insane. It's very important.
And also, the last part is seek support, which is very important to seek support, guys. I feel like being vulnerable is the first step to seeking support.
Definitely.
Otherwise, it really just becomes a burden within yourself. Whatever struggles that you're going through, they just always. So I feel like seek support from. I think there are a lot of people that open to having these conversations. I don't think Nancy and I initially knew that we would actually be open enough with each other, because it just said with one conversation.
Yes, just one conversation.
And then
oh,
like,
wow.
And then you know, it relieves you a lot.
A lot.
So seek support and be, at your very
best. At your
very,
very best. And we're not segregating here, guys. You can go to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that a psychiatrist on your
crazy.
Yes. Doesn't mean you're crazy. No, seek a psychiatrist. Seek a counselor.
Yes.
Go to church. Speak to friends. Speak to family. That will help you to maintain your sanity at your very best.
Absolutely. Nancy, this has been an amazing
conversation, definitely.
Guys, share your thoughts in our comment section. If you have any questions or queries, we will definitely be here to answer them for you. Otherwise, this has been nice.
It's been nice. If you have any recommendations as well, pass on the questions and suggestions. Please let us know on how you want to see this show grow, what topics you'd want us to cover. We're very much open. It's not only about the mummies, it's also about the daddies and the aunties and the uncles and the waiting moms as well.
And also don't forget to share and like
and subscribe
to our amazing YouTube channel.
And don't forget to also turn on your notification button so that you can get to see any latest videos that we upload.
Yes, Mummy's Corner. I think on today's note, Nancy, I'm going to end it here on a high note.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us in this amazing episode of Mummy's Corner. It's been a ball. It's been nice.
Yes, it has been. So from me and Liza, it's bye. Thank you.